Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to picture a scene from the book of Revelation. It's this moment of absolute victory. You've got this triumphant crowd standing on what's described as a sea of glass mixed with fire, and they've just overcome, well, everything. And in this incredible moment, what do? They sing. But what they're singing is this fascinating puzzle that we are going to solve together.
I mean, it's kind of a weird pairing, isn't it? They're singing a song about Moses and a song about a lamb. One is this ancient victory chant from thousands of years ago about escaping Egypt. The other is a hymn all about sacrifice and redemption. So why on earth would you combine these two specific songs right at the climax of history? That is the mystery we're unpacking today.
So here's the verse itself, Revelation 15, verse 3. Now listen to the wording really carefully here. It's not one song with two titles. The text says they sing the Song of Moses and the Song of the Lamb. You see? It's a duet, a kind of heavenly harmony. And to really get why, we've got to dig just a little bit deeper into the original language.
That's right, we're going back to the original Greek. You know, sometimes the clues to understanding these things are hiding in plain sight in the ancient texts, and they reveal why these two songs aren't just compatible, but are actually two parts of one single, perfect story. Now don't worry, this isn't going to be a full-on grammar lesson, I promise. We're just going to spotlight a few key words from the original that will totally open up the meaning for us. So first up, look at this word used for Moses, doulos. It means servant, or even more intensely, a bondservant. This isn't just a job title, it defines his whole purpose. Moses is the servant of God, who delivers the law, the rules, the standards of the Old Covenant. He represents God's divine authority.
Okay, now check out the specific Greek word for lamb, arnion. This is so important. This isn't just any old lamb. Throughout the entire book of Revelation, this exact term is used exclusively as a title for Jesus Christ, pointing to his ultimate sacrifice. It's a name that means both deep suffering and total victory.
And finally, we have Pantokrator, Almighty. I mean, what a word, right? This powerful title for God, used right there in the song's lyrics, it ties everything together. It tells us that the works they're celebrating aren't just impressive, they are the acts of an all-powerful, sovereign ruler of absolutely everything. So, with that context in our back pocket, let's explore the first half of this heavenly duet, the Song of Moses. What's this song all about? Well, this song first shows up way back in the book of Exodus. You have to picture this. The Israelites have just walked through the Red Sea on dry ground, and the entire Egyptian army has just been completely swallowed by the waves. This song is a raw, powerful celebration of God's justice, his incredible deliverance, and his judgment on their enemies.
Just listen to the power in this line from the original song. It's this declaration of God's unmatched might and holiness. It's a song about a physical, national salvation. But, and this is the key, it's also pointing to something more.
And here is a crucial idea. The Song of Moses represents a shadow. The rescue from Egypt was a real, historical event for sure, but it was also a picture, a foreshadowing of a much greater, much more profound rescue that was still to come. And that, of course, brings us to the second half of the melody, the Song of the Lamb. So, if the Song of Moses was the shadow, what's the reality it was pointing to? The Song of the Lamb is the new song. It celebrates the final exodus, not from a physical army in Egypt, but from the universal enemies of sin and death. This is the salvation that was made possible only by the sacrifice of Jesus, the Lamb of God. So this is the whole contrast in a nutshell. Moses' song celebrates the shadow, the Lamb song celebrates the substance. This is the ultimate reality that the first deliverance was always pointing towards. It's the final, complete act of salvation. So what happens when we bring these two songs together? Why sing both? Well, because you can't fully appreciate the substance unless you understand the shadow it came from, and that shadow finds its ultimate meaning only in the substance. And this is how it all clicks together perfectly. On one side, you've got the Song of Moses. That represents the law, the shadow, physical deliverance, and God's perfect justice. On the other side, you have the Song of the Lamb. That's the gospel, the substance, spiritual deliverance from sin, and God's profound mercy. It's not two different messages. It's one complete unfolding story. And this is the heart of it all. The singers in heaven aren't confused. They are celebrating the full story of redemption. They see that the perfect standard of the law, represented by Moses, and the undeserved grace of the gospel, represented by the Lamb, meet perfectly at the cross of Christ. So when they sing, "Great and marvelous are thy works," they are looking at the entire scope of God's plan, which all leads up to the finished work of Jesus. It's a declaration that his plan of salvation is perfect, it's complete, and it is absolutely awe-inspiring.
Ultimately, this dual song is a celebration of the genius of God's redemptive plan. It's a plan where his perfect justice against sin and his profound mercy towards sinners are not in conflict at all, but are perfectly and beautifully united in the person and work of the Lamb. And, that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. This whole principle of shadow and substance, it isn't unique to just this one verse. It really runs throughout the entire biblical narrative. So, it kind of makes you wonder, what other ancient stories or laws or prophecies might just be shadows pointing to a reality that's even deeper and more profound than we first imagined?